the Grade 5 Video for Best Practices. We will be discussing what one could see and hear as they visit mathematics classrooms. Peanuts is a classic. Poor Charlie Brown, trying to explain to his younger sister Sally the importance of multiplying fractions. During this unit, our focus will be on multiplying a fraction by a fraction, including mixed numbers and fractions greater than 1. Students will predict and explain the relative size of products when multiplying a given number by a fraction less than 1, equal to 1, or greater than 1. Problem solving will include using visual models and formulas to determine the perimeter and area of a rectangle with fractional side lengths. The benchmark students learned in the unit of study prior will also be applied here, as they will need to add fractions to determine the area and perimeter of a rectangle. In this unit of study, you will see these key concepts being taught. These goals can also be found in the STEMscopes parent letter. I can use area models, tape diagrams, and number lines to make sense of the process for multiplying two fractions or for multiplying a fraction by a whole number. I can reason about how numbers change when they are multiplied by fractions. I can recognize that when multiplying by a value greater than 1, the number increases, and when multiplying by a value less than 1, the number decreases. I can use visual fraction models or equations to represent and solve problems that involve multiplying any combination of fractions, whole numbers, and mixed numbers. I can find the perimeter and area of a rectangle with fractional side lengths using models and formulas. I can solve real-world problems involving multiplication of fractions, mixed numbers, and fractions greater than 1. So what should we see happening in the classrooms to help students achieve these goals? Here we see 3 snippets from the STEMscopes Explore videos. As you can see in each of these examples, students are introduced to a real-world scenario. They will begin their task by using various manipulatives to build their understanding of the fractional amounts. They will use tools such as base 10 blocks, number lines, grid paper, and fraction tiles, to name a few. The students will multiply a fraction by a fraction, including mixed numbers and fractions greater than 1. Students will predict and explain the relative size of products. Students will be expected to find the perimeter and area of a rectangle with fractional side lengths using both models and formulas. Once again, the sequence of the CRA model will strengthen the student understanding of this benchmark. This lesson would highlight MTR 2, 5, and 7. The types of questions we ask the students will help facilitate the student conversation within the math classroom. Here are a few examples of math chat questions taken from STEMscopes. As the students are working and exploring, we want to encourage our students to make their own connections and to reason as they multiply fraction by fraction, including mixed numbers and fractions greater than 1. You'll notice that these questions are typically open-ended and will stimulate conversations from the students. The conversations from these could demonstrate MTR 2, 5, and 7. As students participate in classroom discussions, it is important for both the teacher and student to engage using correct vocabulary terms. Here is a list of some of the possible vocabulary terms we might hear during this unit. This list can also be found in the STEMscopes parent letter as well. Throughout the unit of study, we see numerous opportunities for the students to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding. This may include student journals or exit tickets during the Explore, or the Show What You Know tasks as a follow-up. Students may also use the fluency builders with games to practice and elaborate on their content knowledge. All of these activities will provide the teacher with informal assessment to gauge the student's understanding throughout the unit. As we visit classrooms, we may want to ask students questions to measure their understanding of their current learning. Here we see two questions we could ask to assess their understanding of multiplying fraction by fraction using an area model and using multiplication to find the area of a rectangle with mixed numbers as the given side lengths. These questions come directly from the benchmark pages on mathsmarts.com. This resource can be found by clicking on any of the benchmark links found in the instructional guides. We all want students to continue their learning at home with engaging tasks. The activities shown here were taken from the STEMscopes parent letter. On the task, Draw It Up, families could use index cards or scratch paper to record their fractional amounts. Parents should encourage their children to represent the fractions as models, including number lines or area models, to explain their product and to deepen their understanding. Another activity to complete at home is called Recipe Fun. Recipes really are a fun way to provide real-world examples of fractions to our students. In this task, students would be multiplying to show how much of each ingredient one would need to make more batches of the same recipe. Family recipes or cookbooks could be used to pull out different ingredients with fractional amounts. Finally, we see an activity called Find the Area. There are so many rectangular-shaped objects all around our homes. Students will be asked to find the area of a given object using the formula area equals length times width. What fun students would have measuring various objects all over the house while reinforcing this benchmark. The information and resources explained in this video have demonstrated the significance of multiplying fractions and offering real-world experiences for our students. The teacher in this cartoon sure has her work cut out for her. We are looking forward to sharing more in the next Best Practices video. See you soon.